everybody, and welcome to Carolina Lock Co, a space to embrace your God-given beauty. My name is Ashley, and I'm coming to you with 5 tips on if you're considering starting your microlock journey. Tip number 1, first thing first, what is your hair care regimen like in its natural state? Are you someone who you do good for a little while and then you fall off the wagon and your hair care regimen is just kind of all over the place? Is that you? Because that was me. And if I knew then what I know now, like with Microlocs, they are, as they say, low maintenance, but they're not no maintenance. And with myself personally, like I find myself, like I do pretty good with consistency for a little while and then I fall off the wagon. And it's months and months and months that I've gone without getting a retie. And with Microlocs, you want to avoid that as much as possible. Not saying that all your hair gonna fall out if you miss a few months here and there. But you do suffer the cost of, if that's something that you consistently do, you may suffer from thinning. You may suffer from just whatever things that may come from it. Everybody's hair type is different, so you may have a thick full head of hair to where you can kind of stretch out your retires in between, so with that, like me, I'm more so on not necessarily thin, but I definitely don't have that low porosity hair type. My hair is more so on the thinner side. So for someone like me, I do need to be more consistent with keeping my retires up so that way I don't go through that thinning that I have dealt with, So that's number 1. Number 2, if you are decent with, maintaining your hair care routine and regimen, look and do your due diligence for who it is that you'll have you to do your install. Because there's a lot of people out here that have certificates but aren't necessarily knowledgeable about hair, and I'll even throw myself out there. Like, I'm a certified microlock specialist, but I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to hair types and all that comes with it. So it's like when you're choosing someone to do your establishment, like you want somebody that's knowledgeable about your hair type and what specific foundation may work best for you, with the interlocks or 2-strand twists, or the different methods that you can use to start microlocks and which one would be best for you. Because you don't want months down the road, you got this individual to do your install. They did a good job, but yet, you're noticing some inconsistencies within your lock because they may not have thoroughly known how to, analyze what's best for your hair. Number 3, I got it written down. What does it say? Listen to your loctician. After you do your due diligence and research on who it is that you're gonna get to do your install, and if you see that, they're knowledgeable about what they're doing, and you see their work, like you see the installments that they have done, and you see those that are returning clients and how their hair is flourishing, you need to do what they tell you to do. Because if you see my hair, like I thank God for my hair and how it's held on for 4+ years, but there are definitely some inconsistencies. And if I turn around and show you the back, there's some that look like basically they just got started, because they didn't broke off or but that came from me not doing what I was told to do. That braiding and banding, it makes a difference, and with my hair type, like if I would have done the braiding and banding, I think my experience may or would have been better than what it has been, because with me not braiding and banding, I was going through bunching, through the first season, and my locks, still trying to form, develop, and mature, but the ends are bunching. I'm already not getting my reties consistently, so that's playing a part. Now my hair starting to shed from the base. Like, it was just a lot that I experienced that I'm sure I wouldn't have had to if I would have listened to my loctician. So that's number 3. Listen to what they tell you to do. and do it. Number 4, we kind of went over this with number 1. Just staying consistent with your reties. It gets hard sometimes because those 6 to 8 weeks, they roll around quick, and it ain't no little bit of money. But that's another thing, like, in making this commitment to getting Microlocs, realize like this is an investment, like this is your hair, and this is something that you're gonna have to keep up with. So if you're gonna make up in your mind that, oh, I'm gonna do my reties myself, stay consistent, or I'm gonna go to somebody, know that you're gonna need some funds. Like you're gonna need, like a lot of places this day and age, like you probably gonna pay well over 182 plus, and let's say, Lord, don't miss out, on your retie, and you months overdue. It's gonna be an even greater cost. So that's another thing to consider, a little nugget that I'm throwing in there, that you have to consider the cost of it as well, because from establishment, you going to somebody who's efficient and knows what they're doing, expect to pay. But at the end of the day, it's an investment. It's worth it, and you have to take care of it. So, but anyway, that's number 4. And number 5, like if you can check everything off the list that you're pretty consistent with your hair care regimen, all right, of course, I don't have enough storage, so we got cut off at tip number 5. Tip number 5 is just trust the process. If you are already checking everything off the list 1 through 5, then you will be just fine. You just have to go through the different phases and seasons of your journey, and your locks will flourish beautifully. And all in all, remember that you are beautiful just the way that Jesus made you. Thanks for watching.